Hi, in this video, I'm going to show you how to edit your front page. So every time you log in, you'll be presented with your dashboard. It's a standard feature. So now you're going to go to Pages and click All Pages. Now, what we're going to do is we've got to find which is your front page. Obviously, we know it's Bwana Media, and then we've told WordPress that this is your front page. So now there's three ways that we can access the Elementor Page Builder. The first way is that let me just open this while it loads. The first way is that we can go edit, and you click on edit, and then it would say edit with Elementor there. The second way is if you hover over it, you click directly edit with Elementor. I always advise, if you're going to use this route, to go right click, open in a new tab. Okay. The third way is that if you're on the front end, this is the front end of your website, you'll see that all of these, this is your black bar. This indicates that you are logged in. Then you can just click edit with Elementor at the top. And then that purple line is the progress bar of how it will load. This depends on your internet speed. So sometimes it will load really quickly. Other times it might take a little bit longer. That's obviously your internet that is hindering the loading time for you. Right, so as you can log in, you'll see that you've got your navigator down here. If you close that, you can always open it up again at the bottom left here by clicking navigator. I prefer using navigator because if I click on a section, you see it takes me down to that section, just like this. So you know how many sections are what. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections on your website. As you can see, the top section is this blue bar that says helping you navigate the digital advertising space. If you hover above that, you'll see that the section above turns like a greenness, and then here it shows header. That is the header of your website, like that. You see, so you can't edit that while you're editing the page. You'll have to do that in another section, which I'll cover in the next video. And if we scroll to the bottom, same thing for your footer, as you can see here. Right, this white space here, you don't have to worry about it. That just is part of the back-end Elementor, that where you can add a template or add your own row in. All right, so if we scroll to the top here, we're going to push this little Rubik's Cube at the top. On the left-hand side, these are all the widgets that are available for you to use. Right, if you want to use any of them, all you can do is you can click on it and drag it into your row, just like that. So the beauty with Elementor is that when you know how to edit this page, you know how to edit every other page on your website, because Elementor functions the same way. As you'll see in the next video, when it comes to doing your header and your footer, Elementor functions exactly the same way. So what we'll do is, as you can see here, we've got your row. If we click on the purple Rubik's Cube in the middle here, obviously if we click X, it's going to delete it. If we click plus, it will add another row. But if you click on the like the 6 little dots on the left-hand side, you'll see edit section. Now you're editing your row, right? So you've got an option where you can make it wider, it's entirely up to you. Okay, you go to style. Here is your background. That is the color that we used for your background, as you can see there. So I'm just going to, as you can see now, we can change it if we don't like it, just like that. And then here's your background overlay. So the only time you'd really use a background overlay is if you put an image as your background, and then you just want to make the image a little bit darker, just so that the wording stands out. But that's how you edit that row. If you come here, if you click on this section here, edit heading, and then you click on this section here, it's actually two of the same widgets, right? But just styled a little bit differently. As you can see, this is helping you navigate the digital advertising space. We click style, right? You'll see the text color here is black. We can change that to white if we want, or we can change it to whatever color we want. And then we can put it into the center, justify to the right, center, whatever you'd prefer. Now, if we click on the white one, and we click the white writing, and we click on style, as you can see, text color is white, but the typography, this is where you'll change all your fonts and your sizing. So this will be the section that's different to that. This is font 35. Weight is normal. If we come down to this one here, we click here, we go to see the font is 20. So that's 15 pixels different in font, right? So that's what makes the difference there. And obviously you can play around with it, your line spacing if you want it. So you can stretch it like that, or you could, it's entirely what you want. Coming to the next section here. This section, we've got a column here and a column here. This is a row that has two columns. This top row is one column, right? This is two columns. And then in the left-hand column, we actually inserted a intersection, which is this little widget here. And then what we did was we actually used the background of that column, we made it white, right? And then we just added a header, as you can see there. We just go style, change the black, we put it into the center. We scroll onto this one, we use a text editor. This is it's very similar to Word. You can, if you click this toggle, toolbar toggle, you get some extra settings. I would advise you not to use those, because if you style it, if you align it in the center here, right, what it does is it actually overwrites the alignment in the center here. You see, so as you can see, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. So it's lined in the center, but if I come back here, hit the toggle, and now I select all and align it to the left, you see it overwrites the Elementor setting. But if you click on text, you'll see there the style is aligned left. We don't want it to overwrite any of the Elementor settings whatsoever, because that's where you're mainly going to be changing settings. So this section, you mainly just put your text in, you put your numbers, your bullet points, you can bold sections, so you can just do that and then bold it if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you. Underline it, italic it. But when it comes to any alignment or anything like that, let's do it in this section here. All right, there's your text color, and there's your typography. As you can see, we just left it at standard font. Font size, normal, line heights, everything. If we scroll down to this one here, it is a text editor again, as you can see, but it is styled a little bit differently. This is black, and the font size here is a little bit bigger. All right, the line spacing, if we look at the line spacing, we can make it, as you can see there. So I'll put that back to 30. All right, so that's this section. This section here, what we did was we put a background image in. So we clicked on the column and we go style. Sorry, we didn't do that. If we scroll here, as you can see, this is why I use the navigator. So if I click on this image, it will show me the edit image, but it's right up to the column, where this one we can see there's a difference. So that's why I do like this. As you can see, I've just made a mistake thinking it was a column, a background image for the column, but it wasn't. It was an image widget, which if you go to the widgets is just here. So if you click on this widget, then you can just choose the widget, and then you can choose it from media library or upload it. That's self-explanatory, loading the image. But what I'd like to show you is how we got this rounded edging. So in here, you're going to go to the row, you're going to go to style, you're going to go to shape divider. And as you can see, we've got nothing on the top, but the bottom, you see we've got the waves. So we've got the width, you see we've got it like that. And then the height, see, and that is how you would made that. If we can flip it if we wanted to, as you can see, but obviously that will go over the wording, which is what we don't want. And then we can go invert, so it goes like that. And what we did was we put it bring to front so that it overlaps the image. All right, and that's how you'd add that shape divider. Come in a bit lower. This is where it kind of gets a little bit repetitive. Now you understand how these rows work. So this row here is one row, and then it's a heading, and then it's a text editor, which are the same things as the widgets above. So styling them is going to be exactly the same. This row here is one row, but we've added an intersection with 3 columns. And then what we did here, this is a heading image. This is a shape divider. This is an image. This is a text editor. And then this is a button. So the button, we've just got, there's your link. There's your title text. We've got a style. We've got the color there. We've got the padding. The padding is what makes it round. So if I had to change that to lower down, as you can see, it's more sharp now. put that back to 20. Right, we can make the hover. So as we've got the hover to grow, as you can see there, so that's fine. But now how we got these shadows is if you go to the column and you go advanced, we put the margin at 10. So if we're to make that smaller, can you see the box is getting closer to the column? If I make it bigger, you see now it's getting smaller away from the column edges. So we put it on 10, and then under style, we just came and did border, and then we did a shadow. So if we undo the shadow, as you can see, it just looks plain. Put the shadow in, we left it as standard, and then that's what gives you your shadow. All right, same thing applies on this column here. Heading, divider, image, text, button. If we go to the column, there's in 10, padding was 20, and we go to style, we go border, undo that, there we go, just brings it to life. If we scroll down a bit, this is another row here. This is just a widget edit. This is the column, left-hand column. This is just an image widget that we just selected. This is a heading. This is a text editor, and this is a text editor. The reason why we've done two text editors is so that we can have one blue and one black. Scroll down a bit. This is your row again. This is your heading. This is the divider. As you can see, it's very repetitive when you get the feel of how Elementor works. Scroll on to this one here. This one here is your portfolio. So if we click on it, you'll see that the image loads up. Now that becomes a bit of a headache, because now if I click on it, and then I click the X at the top right here, if you put your eyes to the left, you'll see that the settings for the carousel is there, but when I click away, the settings disappear. So what you can do is, if we move the navigator out the way, when you hover over it, because it's a gallery, click the little purple pencil, just like that. Now, you haven't enlarged any of the images, but you've got the settings on the left-hand side. And as you can see, these are the images here. These are the images. If you just click on them, you can add to gallery, you can rearrange them, and if you click that X there, it will just delete them from the website. Sorry, from the gallery. So that is how you would edit your gallery images. Then you've got some resolution. So we've got it set as full. If you go thumbnail, what it does is the image sizes go a little bit smaller and the quality drops. If we go large, just like this, it might look like it fills, but the quality, the edging isn't there. So what we do is we just make the resolution full. The image size stays the same, but the sharpness and the quality of the image gets better. Slide to scroll, we've got set as default. So this is, you can make it slide 1, or you can make it slide 3. It's entirely up to you. Slides to show, default, you can make it 1 if you wanted. Image stretch we don't want, because that obviously pixelate the image. And then we've got the arrows here. Do you want the arrows, which are these things here? All right, lightbox, yes, we want lightbox, so that when people click on it, it enlarges it so they can actually see. And then that's it. That is how you'd edit this section. So the beauty of Elementor, as I said, was that now you know how to edit the basic cores of Elementor. You can go wild with it. And editing all the other pages, your services, your contacts, and your About Us page, the function is exactly the same. The only thing that differs is the widgets that you put in. So, and the widgets are all very self-explanatory. If you want a contact form, you just type in form, just like that, and then you just drag your form in, or drag it in here, and there's your form here. And then here's your styling, which you can go down. There's the email sections. And there you can go to add a section. Let's make a phone. As you can see, just drag it up one. We type in here phone, for example, and the placeholder phone, and then you can just go your column width, just like that. So as you can see, it's exactly the same. I'm just going to delete that. As you can see, it's exactly the same, but it's just editing a different style of widget. So have fun editing your site, and in the next video, I'll show you how to edit your header.